What if the world forgot Messi and Ronaldo? World Cup 2026. The morning of the 2026 FIFA World Cup final felt different. Stadiums were packed. Millions of fans wore their national colors. Cameras flashed from every corner of the arena. Commentators prepared for the biggest football event on earth. But something impossible had happened overnight. The entire world had forgotten two of football's greatest legends. No one remembered Lionel Messi. No one remembered Cristiano Ronaldo. Their records had vanished from history books. Their statues no longer existed. Highlight videos disappeared. Every goal, every trophy, every Ballon d'Or, every unforgettable celebration had simply faded from human memory. Only one young football fan noticed something strange. While scrolling through old files on an abandoned hard drive belonging to his grandfather, he discovered two mysterious folders. One was labeled LM10. The other read CR7. Curious, he opened them and watched grainy footage of impossible goals, magical dribbles, breathtaking free kicks, emotional celebrations, and unforgettable Champions League nights. The names underneath read Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. "Who are these players?" he whispered. There were no search results online. No Wikipedia pages. No social media profiles. Nothing. He realized he had uncovered football's greatest forgotten secret. As the 2026 World Cup reached its dramatic climax, football looked completely different. Young stars dominated every headline. Lamine Yamal amazed defenders with fearless dribbling. Jude Bellingham controlled the midfield with confidence beyond his years. Kylian Mbappé continued breaking defensive lines with incredible speed. Erling Haaland terrorized defenders with unstoppable finishing. Fans called this the greatest generation football had ever seen. But nobody knew they were walking the path built by two forgotten giants. The young fan couldn't believe what he was seeing. Every trick reminded him of the mysterious number 10 wearing Argentina's sky blue shirt. Every powerful finish reminded him of the Portuguese number 7 who refused to lose. He decided to tell people. Nobody believed him. Teachers laughed. Football experts dismissed the videos as AI-generated fiction. Commentators claimed the clips were edited. Historians insisted football had never seen players like that. Yet the evidence remained. Every night he uploaded another forgotten highlight. One day it was a bicycle kick against Juventus. Another day it was an impossible solo run against Getafe. Then came free kicks that curved like magic. Then came impossible hat tricks. Then came Champions League comebacks that seemed too dramatic to be real. Slowly, people began questioning everything they thought they knew. At the same time, the World Cup final approached. Spain faced Argentina in one of the greatest finals ever imagined. The world expected a tactical masterpiece. The young fan sat quietly in the stadium with a small homemade banner. It didn't support Spain. It didn't support Argentina. It simply read, "Remember the legends." Nobody understood. As kickoff began, both teams played incredible football. Every attack was beautiful. Every save breathtaking. Every tackle fierce. Yet something felt missing. Players celebrated goals. Fans cheered. But there was no larger story connecting generations. Football had lost its memory. During halftime, giant screens around the stadium suddenly flickered. Nobody knew why. Old footage accidentally appeared across every screen. A small boy dribbling through defenders in Barcelona. A young winger sprinting down the touchline in Lisbon. The crowd fell silent. Who were these players? Then came impossible goals. The commentator's voice echoed from the ancient recording. Lionel Messi. Moments later. Cristiano Ronaldo. The names sounded unfamiliar. Thousands of supporters stared in complete confusion. The mysterious young fan smiled. The files had somehow reached the stadium's broadcast system. Now the entire world watched. One highlight became another. The famous Barcelona vs Real Madrid battles. Champions League finals. World Cup moments. European Championships. Record-breaking goal celebrations. Ballon d'Or ceremonies. Emotional family moments. Training sessions before sunrise. Incredible work ethic. Unmatched determination. Children in the stadium began asking their parents. Were these players real? Parents couldn't answer. Nobody remembered. Even current football stars stood watching in disbelief. Lamine Yamal whispered, whoever they were, they inspired football. Mbappé stared silently at Ronaldo's incredible leap. Bellingham couldn't stop watching Messi glide past defenders. Goalkeepers watched impossible free kicks curl into top corners. Defenders watched attackers destroy defensive lines with unbelievable intelligence. The stadium no longer cared about the score. They had discovered forgotten history. Commentators searched every database. Nothing appeared. It was as if history itself had been erased. Meanwhile, social media exploded. Millions shared screenshots. Hashtags spread across every country. Who is Messi? Who is Ronaldo? Forgotten legends. The final memory. Scientists searched for explanations. Historians searched old archives. Football museums opened locked storage rooms. Collectors found signed shirts hidden in dusty boxes. Old newspapers suddenly appeared. Ancient magazine covers returned. Gradually, pieces of football history came back together. One article spoke about a player who won the World Cup after years of heartbreak. Another described a machine who shattered scoring records across Europe. Another showed two rivals pushing each other toward impossible greatness. People realized football history had been incomplete. The greatest rivalry ever created had disappeared. Now it was returning. As the second half resumed, players seemed transformed. Every pass carried greater purpose. Every run felt inspired. Every goal celebration honored something bigger than victory. The final itself became legendary. Extra time arrived. The tension became unbearable. In the final minutes, a stunning team goal decided the championship. The winning captain lifted the World Cup trophy. But instead of celebrating immediately, he pointed toward the giant screen. The final image still showed two smiling football legends wearing different colors but sharing the same dream. The stadium erupted into thunderous applause. Not for one nation. Not for one club. But for football itself. The young fan quietly walked away. His mission was complete. The world remembered again. Schools rewrote football history. Museums reopened legendary exhibits. Children searched endless highlight videos. Young players copied famous celebrations. Fans debated endlessly. Who was greater? Messi? Or Ronaldo? For the first time, billions experienced the greatest football rivalry with fresh eyes. Without bias. Without old arguments. Only pure admiration. Coaches began showing their matches in academies again. Messi taught vision, creativity, balance, humility, and magical intelligence. Ronaldo taught discipline, ambition, leadership, confidence, and relentless hard work. Young players realized they didn't need to choose between them. They could learn from both. One represented natural genius refined through dedication. The other represented relentless determination turning dreams into reality. Together they defined an era no one would ever forget again. Years later, another World Cup began. A little boy entered a football museum with his father. He stopped before two enormous statues standing side by side. One wore number 10. The other wore number 7. The child smiled. I know them. His father smiled back. Everyone does. The boy looked closely at both legends. Did they really change football forever? His father answered softly. They didn't just change football. They changed millions of lives. The museum lights reflected off countless trophies. World Cups. Champions Leagues. Ballon d'Or awards. Golden boots. Golden balls. Every achievement now safely remembered. Outside, children played football in the streets. Some shouted, Messi. Others shouted, Ronaldo. Nobody argued. Nobody compared. They simply smiled while chasing the same beautiful dream. Because football is more than trophies. More than records. More than statistics. It is emotion. It is hope. It is inspiration passed from one generation to another. And even if the impossible happened, even if the entire world somehow forgot its greatest legends, true greatness would always find its way back. Because legends may disappear from memory, but they can never disappear from the heart.